Good morning, good afternoon. Raquel Redmond from Brava Art Press. How are you today? We are going to make clay. We have a lovely clay project inspired by a visit to the Metropolitan Museum in New York. We were in the ancient Chinese sculptures area, and I saw these beautiful figures made out of clay. There were many sources of inspiration in that area. In general, museums and galleries are wonderful sources of inspiration. The one that I selected for you, or inspired me the most to make this project, was these figures, the long, skinny figures with a different, it's like a human body, but with different heads, like animal heads or birds' heads. That I found ducks, dogs, a rabbit, I found a rooster. So it's a very nice thing that you could do. Here I have a couple of samples that I have made ahead. And this is the figure here, long and skinny, and it has, I think it's a cat. It has, I call it the Egyptian cat. It has been made out of terracotta clay, it's hollow, and the white is a white body stain, or sometimes called white body slip. To do this project, this nice clay project, we need a few things. We need clay, we need 2 pieces of timber, about 1/4 of an inch thick, 2 actually, the same. A rolling pin or a piece of plastic tube, some brushes to paint and to apply water to the clay, and paddle pop sticks. We also need some paper to cut your design. Also we need paint to paint the clay after it has been fired. Students will need 2 pieces of clay. I got one here. I flattened down like a pizza, ready to go within the guides. I call the guides here to be draw out to that thickness. So we need one for the front and one for the back. At this point, we are going to move the camera closer so you can see how you can do this, cut the shape and then cut the actual clay. So here is how we start. We have a piece of paper and a pen to do the pattern. We're going to just fold it in half so the pattern will be exactly the same on both sides. And I'll do something rounded like that. Then, while it is folded like that, cut it here and you will have something like that. This is the one that I like to work on today, this shape. So let's do it. So here we have what we need to roll out the clay. We have a piece of very thick piece of cloth, the clay that I shaped like a pizza already, and the 2 pieces of timber that I call the guides. And we have a rolling pin or a piece of plastic like this. I'm standing because it's better to do it on a standing position. So I'll use my big piece of plastic tubing to just roll it out like that until it goes to the same thickness of the guides, the pieces of timber. At this point, I'll change to the rolling pin because it will give me more contact like that, pushing like that. So until it gets to the same thickness. So here we have the 2 pieces of clay, one for the front, one from the back. This is on canvas. The back of the canvas is excellent to roll out clay. And I'll start with that one. I got the pattern here, and the pattern will go there. Just press down a little bit, and with the paddle pop stick or any other tool that you might have at home or at school, we will cut this pattern like this around here, and then we will cut it over there, and then around the other way here, and then carefully taking all the excess of clay that you are going to keep to make the head, tails, any details you would like to make. So we keep that, and we put this away to cut the other one. So we will have at the end of the stage two shapes that are exactly the same size. So here we have exactly two pieces of clay, same thickness, same shape, same size. So to start with, we're going to pick up one like this and make it concave like this, like that. And the other one will go the same way, shaping the body of, I don't know yet what I'm making, but probably another chicken. So these two are going to be one this way and the other one that way, and we are going to pinch them together. While the clay is so wet and so soft, to keep it up, I just inserted a piece of paper, just a crunch up paper, to start pinching around, but the paper has to be removed when the clay is sort of leather dry and ready to go to the kiln. I set this the clay on this wheel, so we can, for the sake of the camera, it will focus on how to pinch this together. But if you don't have this wheel, you can perfectly do the same on the table. So we're applying a little bit of water here with a paintbrush, if you like. And then we're going to pretend that we're making a pie. Pinch, pinch, like that. And I'm not pinching all the way up there because it's a little bit of opening here for, we're going to leave that open for the head. So a bit more water there. Just smoothing, you can smooth that out later on. To get rid of the finger marks. You can do that later at another stage. And this is the other side, the same situation. Apply the water. I'm working on the head now, and I'll make a pinch bowl, a little pinch bowl or pinch pot, like that, pinching that way. So this is a stage to place the head. So I sort of decided to make a bird. Now, I don't know if the head is going to go that way or on the top. It's a matter of making decisions because it's about decisions. So also I can just press here and create a neck that is not as wide as the other. I'll obviously have to pinch that and then open that bit with my fingers like that, and apply the water. And it's going to be a bird looking to the side, similar to the chicken that I have. So here, with the bird in place, with the head in place, we will start joining together, applying a bit of water there, and with the paddle pop stick, just applying, join together there, and using your fingers now. There you are. And now I'll work more on the details. So we are going to continue on making decisions. So shall I use those things like ears, or shall I make something like a hat? Or shall I make something like, oh, probably pointy things like this? like that, or should it go like this? What do you think? I think I like something that goes across there. Continue on using my imagination. I'll give this bird some wings. What I did, I cut 2 wings exactly the same by putting the clay together like this, and then just cutting together 2 pieces of clay, flat clay, and then cut around like that. So they're ready to be placed there. Again, the same process. Find out where you want the wings to go. A bit of texture, bit of water and texture there, and that is the wing that way, that side. I like the wing to go back a little bit, so I'll turn it towards me to approach that better like this. And what I'll do here, with a bit of clay, I'll make a sausage like that, a long skinny sausage, and place it on the back here to make sure that that wing is not going to come off. And using the paddle pop stick and the paintbrush, the little paintbrush, join that wing very carefully there, because when you make clay, and if you make things that stick out too much, they will fall off. Now, there is my bird, and the last thing would be probably to put some textures, to draw some textures with your paddle pop stick or your paintbrush, the back of the paintbrush like that. Or we can do, this is a bird, it's a fantastic bird, so just inventing a few things there. At this point you have to make a decision whether you will leave it to dry like this and fire and get a bird that is just a terracotta, natural terracotta, and then paint it like that, or apply this white slip or body stain at this stage. So this is the body stain here, applying the body stain like that. It will be very white when it's fire, when it's after it has been in the kiln, and applying the body stain over the textures that we made here. But you also can do other way. You can make paint the body stain like this on the clay, or a slip. Remember that is either body stain or slip for terracotta. This is terracotta clay. And when you have done the painting like that, then you can draw some patterns. Some patterns like Picasso did. Picasso did beautiful clay pieces using this technique. And the contrast between the white and the red of the terracotta when it's fire is absolutely beautiful. And you can use many other tools, but I have just a paddle pop stick at the moment. Applying like that, and keep going. You just use the imagination. Lines, you can do lines like that. It's like drawing on clay. So this is a stage to paint. These two here, this one has been painted already with plain colors and some details. This one I like to paint in front of the camera to give you some ideas. And the paint is here. This is a really, really good paint for clay, I discovered, because it doesn't crack. This character was painted about 8 months ago, and it doesn't crack at all. It's perfect. This is the super heavy body Tempera. It's really good. It's the Chroma 2 heavy body Tempera that I use for the clay. And these are the colors that I have dispensed on this ice cube tray. And I'll have a medium-sized paintbrush, another small paintbrush, and a tiny paintbrush for details. I also have a tray, a food tray underneath there with newspaper, so to avoid mess. A container with water is just a tin from the kitchen. Another thing from the kitchen is a food tray to use as mixing tray, or simply a piece of paper like this. And a rag, of course, to clean your fingers and to clean your paintbrushes. I'll mix the color, so I like to mix that pink, and if I'm going to mix pink, I always will start with white, because you can add the red to the white on the side there to create the pink. So that's how you do it. It's very difficult to add white to a blob of red if you want to find out more or less the same color. So I have to make a bit redder. I have to add more red to that combination, so a bit more. And I'm not going to try to match the color. Matching colors is very difficult. It's just that I painted this some weeks ago, so it doesn't matter if it's another pink in this case. The important thing is to show you how to paint. When you paint, you push the paint in like that, pushing, because this is not soft as paper, so you have to really push the paint like this, like that. I like to paint on the white. This white has been fired with the when the clay was fired, when the piece was fired, so it's not going to come off. I have this other paint which is it's running, but this paint can be really, you can apply it very intense, like here. It has a very good coverage too, like that. Or you can make it into applying water there on your palettes, paint like a watercolor, like that. So you can show all the, you can see the textures and mix colors and create other colors like that. This paint, this second paint that I'm using, is called Chromacryl Fluid. It's a really good paint, but any fluid paint will do this kind of technique. Here I have mixed the two paints. I apply the fluid paint underneath there, and then the Tempera on the top. So these are the my blue cat, inspired on the Chinese sculptures that I saw at the Metropolitan Museum, my chicken, and this other bird that I made on camera is here to give you the idea if you just painted white with white slip or body stain and then carve with an instrument. When it's fire, it will be beautiful combination of very intense white and the red of the terracotta. There will be more information about this project, the list of materials that is needed for this, in the blog. So this is it, our video tutorial on making these beautiful sculptures inspired by these ancient Chinese terracotta figures. Have a lovely day and enjoy this project. It's a lot of fun. Thank you.